It's being done. It could be done already. It just never shows up on my screen.
It shows up on my. Well, now it does. I
It
don't know what
always
update
shows
they
up.
did.
It always shows up on like yours and Bruce's and whoever we have before mine, which makes no sense.
It used to not. It does that now, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, it's like the weird thing with Griff last week where
Yeah.
we started the recording and the thing was talking at us like
Yeah, and it was like, you are now going live. I was like, don't you
right? And all of a sudden I feel like Michael Cole for the first time ever. We don't need this. we not tonight. Okay.
Oh my god, my back.
Because we all looked like thrown off by it, including Griff.
Yeah, everybody was like, okay.
Because it had never happened before.
No,
we've been doing this for like a year and a half, going on 2 years. We're this is episode 97.
97. Jesus, I feel old.
And it didn't happen until episode 96. Like seriously, 96?
That was a good year, 96.
It was a damn good year. I got my driver's license.
I turned 10.
I'm old.
Oh my god, I feel old. Jesus, my back.
Okay, Twitter, just stop.
Mason McCormick.
Mason, what's up, man? High Class will be here shortly. We're just getting everything set up to go, and
I don't know why I had to sing Mason's name like that. Like, it's just impulse control problems.
Why not? It sounded beautiful. I'm sure he appreciated it.
I make joyful noise. I don't sing. I make joyful noises.
I mean, Mason, have you ever heard anybody say your name that nicely?
Fair. Too sweet. That's what's up.
I think everybody would want to like walk into a room and have someone just sing out their name like angelically.
Yes, I was supposed to call Felipe.
Oh,
I'm sorry, bro. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Terrible friend.
I know, bro. I would have told her, reminded her something. I know. So while I'm sharing this around and trying to gather up an audience, I was gonna tell Wendy this story anyway because she heard a little bit about it this morning, but I might as well just give you like a not wrestling related shoot.
Tell us.
So getting my son up in the morning for school, we're getting him dressed, getting him breakfast and everything. Getting ready to take him to the bus. He's got to go to the bathroom. We're like, cool, go ahead. And he goes to his thing. You know, we had to help him get his clothes back together because he still struggles with that. He'd rather be naked, but that's neither here nor there.
Fair enough.
So walking him down the hall behind me. And as he gets to this bathroom right here, he turns, he looks in the mirror, and I swear to God, he's got like the little polo shirt on, like little eyes-eyed, big stripe, like light blue and white, you know, looking all studly and shit. He looks at himself. He does like the straighten the eyebrows thing, and then as he turns to walk towards the door, he's kind of strutting, and he goes, "Sexy motherfucker!" Boom, 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 as he walks out the door.
That's my little dude.
I was like, this motherfucker.
Excuse you, this sexy little motherfucker.
This sexy. Well, yeah, I don't know if I should call my own son sexy. I'm pretty sure they take him away if I call him.
It is a little awkward. I
don't really know the minutia. I'm not sure exactly, but oh my God, if it didn't crack me the hell up. So you know, going back to the interview we did with Griff, where we were talking about songs that your kids should not be saying, that we should not have been singing as kids. Add that one to the list with like Color Me Bad and Super Freak. And I think Chris had commented like anything from Adam Sandler back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep. Mason's like,
Mac!
When Michael's theme randomly came on.
Oh man, it's so good to see you, Mac. Where you been, homie? Love that guy.
Mac.
Even if he is a Giants fan, I still love that guy.
We'll forgive it.
Mac. Everybody.
T-shirt worthy.
But yeah, I had to get that in there because I was planning to tell Wendy that story, and the only reason that High Class isn't here is he was set up to get his second shot tonight, but he was set up to get it a lot earlier, and they're behind on giving out these shots. So we're not even sure if he's got it yet. We're not even sure when he'll be back.
We're just getting this party started.
We're going to get this party started momentarily. We're going to welcome him in. I guess I could do the intro. I did it last week.
Do it.
He's going to hate me, but I did it last week. And I'll wait to introduce him. We'll give him his own little special moment. Okay, so the tweet is out, the poster out, everything is out. I don't have anything on the gram, but fuck it, who needs the gram? I'm kidding, Instagram. Please do not cancel me. I love you, IG. IG is for me. Anywho, let's get this going. Yes, that's what I want. Boom. Can you see that, Grandma?
Yeah.
Well, then why does it keep saying it's on a second? Back up, please. Well, then fuck it. Let's roll.
Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on, living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on, living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another hopefully exciting edition of Top Rope Wrestling Talk, the voice of the squared circle, made by, well, a bunch of psycho, grandma, high-class wrestling fans for hopefully other wrestling fans.
Totes.
And since I'm feeling gentlemanly and it only happens like maybe 2 or 3 times a month, I'm going to introduce first the first lady of Top Rope Wrestling Talk, the whole ass vibe.
That's right.
Grandma herself, my brosis, Wendy.
Sorry, my nose itched.
Yeah, so did mine, and now I can't find your music. There it is.
Hey.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. We lie, we cheat, we steal. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Mama, see now, we got.
Oh, I miss you, Eddie. Which is ironic because his son is defending his tag team championship right now on SmackDown as we speak.
That's right. With his stepdad.
Never forget, Ray. That's his puppy.
That's yep. Eddie's his puppy.
I got to get that shirt again. And of course, there's me. Not DDP, obviously. But the most decorated champ in Top Rope history. The 20-time jack of all trades, master impressionist, soundboard god. Well, I can't say master impressionist because really, when you shoot, I'm the master of absolutely none.
Yep.
I'm the South Philly Psycho, and if you can't say it all, just say Dom. And as usual, the whole fucking shit. Hit it! Da-na-na. Peter.
All about it.
Welcome to the chat, Peter. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Mac. Welcome, Mason. Welcome, Peter. Welcome, everybody. I can't see because I'm not looking at the YouTube live chat at the moment. Thank you all for joining us. I am extremely excited to be here. I am getting word from Brucey that he just got home from getting his second shot, and he will be in here momentarily. Now, unfortunately, since we've had to wait, Grandma might have to dip a little bit early before the show, so we're going to be hot tagging it a little bit. But you're going to get all of the TRWT3 during the duration of this episode. I promise. I said I deliver. That's what I do.
True. Like, what was it? Scarface says, all I got in this world is my word and my balls, and I don't bust either of them for nobody.
Exactly.
Right. I was just watching that the other day with Mom.
It happens.
Yep.
Oh, and Alvaro. I'm sorry. What up, adopted bro?
What's up, bro?
Love you, dude. Never met you. Love you. Don't care. So since Brucey is imminent, let's try to hold off of what we were going to talk about, and let's go over something we started talking about before we got on live, and that's early this morning we heard the news that Brock Lesnar has been added to the active Raw roster yet again. Was it just me, or was your first thought like, so that's how many people they got to cut to pay Brock?
Oh my God, right?
Was it just me?
Nope, because I was like, damn, for real?
Because, obviously we had some more cuts, and we're going to talk about those too. We're just waiting on Brucey. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, guys. But it's weird that, like, one day, they let, like, half dozen or more people go. A few days later, Brock's back.
Yep.
That was my first thought. My next thought, and if somebody in the live chat or somebody out there wants to leave a comment below after the fact, please answer this question for me. My next thought was, why?
I can't even. I mean, people that are all about, like just on that WWE deck are like, oh, because he puts ass in seats. I'm like, but does he still though? Like,
and not to mention, like, when was the last time he wrestled? When he lost to Drew 2 WrestleManias ago.
Like, does he really put ass in seats, or is it just like WWE fans that are excited?
The only answer I got is they want to try to drum up this dream match that people had years ago between Bobby and Brock. And this was more when Brock was more of the beast, and Bobby was young and kind of on his way up, like became ECW champion and all that. And it was supposed to happen right around that WrestleMania. And then for whatever reason, it fell through, and Bobby ended up facing Umaga, and Vince McMahon got his head shaved, and
it was a whole ass thing.
There was a whole ass other thing. Donald Trump was involved. Stone Cold was involved. Like it escalated rather quickly. Is all I'm saying.
It didn't make sense, but it escalated.
It didn't make any sense at all. But at least we realized Vince McMahon actually had hair, and it was shaved.
Yes.
So he kind of looked like Bob Backlund. Did anybody notice that?
Yeah, he did. He really did. Like a more pinheaded version of Bob Backlund.
Bless you. Bless you.
There it is. Thank you.
Bless you.
Ooh.
Wow. I thought I was the only one having allergy issues today. Okay, I'm not alone.
And I take my allergy medicine every day, and I'm still
Me too, homegirl. I'm telling you, we share everything. We had
a
Charlie horse in the same leg at the same time today. That is a shoot, legit.
I swear.
Let's see. Mason had said, my first thought was, if Vince loses enough attendance, he can relocate to Miami. No, wait. Maybe not.
Fuck Miami. Oh my God. I love Bruce. Oh my fucking God. Just shoot me now. Agreed. That was my first thought when I saw that Brock Lesnar was coming back. I'm like, dead ass y'all, like just old yeller me. Take me out back, old yeller me, because I'm over it.
Yeah, I am beyond over Brock Lesnar. I know there are some people that aren't, and that's fine. And to you, I hope you enjoy it. But at the same time, this guy hasn't wrestled in over a year. And
he's overrated in my book.
I would say later Brock is a little overhyped and overrated. Everything from Brock taking Taker streak beyond that was definitely not not where you need Brock to be. But that's
everything before that. I was like, okay, when he first started, I was like, yeah, I fucks with this guy. But then it's kind of like
the next question, because I've got SmackDown on here in case anything interesting happens, like Juicy Usies take back their tag titles for the 7th time.
I'm gonna need one quick moment, but keep talking.
Okay, but my next thought there was like, okay, so obviously got Juicy Usies in the ring, and they're backing Roman, and Roman's got his special counsel, Paul Heyman. So if Brock comes back, who does Paul Heyman roll with? Because they're certainly not going to give Brock Lesnar a live mic. That's been proven already. Whenever they did, he said some shit that basically WWE didn't want him to say. So even if Brock is back, like, where does Paul Heyman go? Is he still the counsel, or is he now the advocate?
Yeah, that is kind of awkward. I'm like, are they gonna have like a Paul Heyman on a pole match now? Like
exactly. Which get rid of the pole matches. We already said that, but
totally.
And then there's the other wrinkle, because for the most part, Bruce Pritchard put Paul Heyman on SmackDown because Bruce mainly sticks to Raw.
Mm-hmm.
He has guys to help him with SmackDown, and he stays predominantly on the Raw side with the production and all that. He and Paul Heyman don't necessarily get along, mainly because Bruce took Paul's job.
Yeah.
So you're gonna put Paul back on Raw, or you're gonna move Brock to SmackDown again because he loved that so much.
Oh, because that went over real well.
Right. Right. It's just you see what I mean? Like this just moving him to the roster creates this clusterfuck.
Oh yeah, it really does.
And meanwhile, poor SmackDown, which I'm watching now, and I do enjoy, they have maybe a combined 22 superstars in their roster after those cuts, men and women.
Yeah. Because who was it that posted the women's roster?
It was our home chicken. It was Hope.
Yeah.
She posted, well, I don't know if she posted the rosters, but she posted something saying that as of this morning, SmackDown has 22 total superstars on their roster, including 2 female tag teams, one being the women's tag champs. So like they're struggling for people, and meanwhile it's like, oh, let's throw Brock on Raw with everybody else. It creates so much chaos just moving him back into the fold.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and honestly, I don't understand why they think they need him. Like they really don't.
Peter saying Brock killing Roman is what we need. Wow. Hasn't he already done that though?
Seriously. So we're doing
like
it
a few
again?
times. I mean, obviously killing Roman gets you kind of thrown out the door. Just ask Braun Strowman. He did it like 9 times.
Yeah.
But just seeing Brock come back, that was why. These are all the reasons I was just like, but why? Because it creates more problems than it solves.
It really does. I don't know. It was pointless in my opinion.
Oh, Juicy Uzi's ain't gonna be happy. They just lost. Uh-oh. Oh, Tribal Chief is definitely not happy. He's got that I need some brand look on his face. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm waiting on Brucey. I swear there's more to this show than this. I promise.
There's a lot more.
He was in the live chat. Hopefully he'll be coming to the meeting. He might have to scroll a little bit. That'll be a problem because the invite.
Brucey don't scroll.
And Brucey, as we established in front of Jason Griff, he don't scroll. And by the way, I'm so sorry. I also want to take a moment to thank Griff for coming on this show.
Totally.
And dealing with us.
Oh my God, yeah. Dealing with my like unprofessional eating on camera bullshit.
well, Brucey's unprofessional. I ask a question and can't even get the words out of my mouth.
We're a hot ass mess in general.
But you dealt with us. You hung in there. You were great. Your predictions were wonderful.
100%.
You dropped some gems on music and wrestling at the same time. And I do believe, if I remember the interview correctly, the actual CDs for Fireside Chats came out like maybe yesterday. So if you're like me and you're into collections, as you can see behind me, go cop the CD. Go to insubordinaterecords.com, order the CD. It's a great album, top to bottom.
If you're on Bandcamp, just look up Insubordinate Records. It's there, and you can find them.
Definitely there.
Try to pull it all up. And
if you're not a collector, just go to your music platform. Go to your Spotify's, go to your Apple Music's, go to whatever.
Yes, you can find it there too.
Listen to this man buy his album.
The 3 are complete.
And then there were finally 3.
So
now, hold on real quick. I don't know if you read my comment, but fucking shoot me now.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. And now that he's gotten that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome the founder of Top Rope on Facebook, the biggest MJF mark ever. The one, the only, the high class one. Bruce.
Mac, we're not worthy.
Yeah, I think we filled nicely until you showed up.
We're doing good. We were on a roll, man. Oh, happy birthday to Morgan. BTW.
Yes. Now that he's here, happy birthday to the child that runs through the screen every almost week. The one and only the Uncle Psycho loves you, little demon, too sweet. Happy birthday.
Boop, right there.
Damn, our kids are getting old, y'all.
Dude, my oldest son gets his fucking permit in a few months.
Right. Mine just turned 10. Devin's daughter is out here driving.
Right?
Yo, I saw that and I was having flashbacks to when my dad tried to teach me in the parking lot and he was like grabbing the steering wheel and being an asshole about it.
Too.
And I got really frustrated and he was like, okay, I think you're ready to drive in the road. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. So then I did the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas psych him out thing and I pulled to the left instead of the right into the road. And he starts yelling at me. And so I slammed the brakes and he bam right into the dashboard. It was like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, you're what's wrong with this whole thing, Dad. So yeah, he never tried to teach me ever again. So
I'm not shocked.
And that's the story of how Grandma Wendy did not get her driving license until she was 26.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. And my younger brother was the one who taught me how to drive. Thanks, Dustin.
It's okay,
26,
Wendy.
yeah.
It's okay.
That's why I'm such a terrible driver.
All right, so now that I'm here, where did you guys leave off, and what am I jumping into besides the whole Brock Lesnar bullshit that I?
Well, we just got through Brock, and
Yes.
For those who aren't watching SmackDown, the Usos just lost to Ray and Eddie's son.
Oh yeah.
And the other thing that I wanted to touch on real quick, because we talked about it a little bit, was NWA actually had a pay-per-view today
at 4:00.
Yeah,
like when our
on
shadows
Friday.
fall, and the card looked amazing. Like Camille got a shot at Serena Deeb. We had Thunder Rosa and Melina taking on Tara Terrell and Smiley Kylie Ray, who honestly, I didn't even know she was back.
She retired, and
not anymore.
She
was at the pay-per-view. Unfortunately, it came on while most of us were working or tied up, and we didn't get to see it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I'm kind of hoping Camille won. I'm keeping my fingers crossed because bitch deserves it.
Right. I still want to see the crossover match on Dynamite.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh God, yeah.
That would be cool. It seems like NWA kind of wants to work with AEW, but doesn't want to work with AEW. They're like, everybody else is like, oh yeah, we'll send New Japan's like, yeah, we'll send talent. Impact's like, yeah, bring the talent. NWA is like, well, you can have the belt for a little bit. And Thunder Rosa wants to come, and then fuck it, we're done.
Pretty much.
I think that they're using AEW more for their women's roster than their men's roster. Because if you really look at it, the NWA men's roster is pretty well rounded out, even after all the talent they lost.
They've added a lot of people after they lost that talent, though. Like Chris Masters and Tyrus, and there's a list of people. But even Crimson came back. But female wise, their roster is
a little slim.
They got like 5, 6 women.
Well, that's why they added Taryn Terrell, they added Smiley Kylie, they're bringing Serena Deeb in, and they're bringing the women that Thunder Rosa trained that were on Dark into working NWA now. Like Alex Gracias and a few other people, but everyone except maybe Red Velvet, because obviously she's kind of a big deal on Dynamite.
Yeah, she's not leaving.
In an AEW, just in general, she's a big deal. but it definitely seems like, you know, their men's roster is it needs some work, but it's getting there. Where their women's roster is like thin.
I feel like Red Velvet's Brandy's little sister or cousin or something. I really do. I feel like they're related somehow.
It does feel that way. It's just, you know, like Taryn Terrell probably hasn't had a match since like 2015. You know, so she finally came out.
Bless you.
Everybody's sneezing but me.
We're all sneezing here.
Good God.
I'm about to grab my allergy medicine and do a plug for it. You know what you need?
When are we going to jump into the meat and potatoes of this?
We are definitely getting to that in a mere minute. I just wanted to say, I'm glad NWA is back and on pay-per-view and doing their thing. But next time, can you at least do it at a point when people are home?
Right?
Like a Friday afternoon? Grandma.
Hold on. According to their website, what's today? The 5th or the 4th?
The 4th.
The 4th? According to their website, NWA When Our Shadows Fall is going to be on the 6th, which is Sunday, but still at 4
we didn't miss it. Okay.
No. Okay. But it's still at 4 p.m., which is still kind of a weird time, but
the picture that I saw, and maybe they changed it, but the picture that I saw at the time said 6-4, and I was like, oh, 6-4 at 4? That's weird.
Are there any other pay-per-views on Sunday?
No.
This coming Sunday? Not that I know.
No.
Are there any UFC fight? No, they're usually on Saturdays.
They're usually on Saturday nights.
It's
cool. So we didn't miss it. So cool. At least you did
Never
put
mind.
on.
I take back my previous
I was looking for results.
I take all that back, Billy. I was like, outside of the show should be fire, and their roster is improving, and I'm glad that they're back. I take back the put it on at a time we could watch. My bad, Billy. Yes. My bad.
Yeah, even Pete just said it was on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. My
Sorry,
bad.
William Patrick Corgan, our bad.
I can't keep track of everything around this mug. Okay.
My brain has very little RAM left.
Listen, I'm bringing this up because I read this in an article. It's kind of segue into something else that we planned on talking about in this show. Mr. William Corgan has made it abundantly clear that he wants Braun Strowman in NWA.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That would actually work.
I'm okay with this.
But we're gonna put a pin in that. Let's put a pin in that because we're gonna get to that.
Full circle.
First, and that is a nice segue. But first, we're gonna switch gears just a little bit, and we're gonna talk about Double or Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a tremendous show. I think Devin had asked us, but I'm going to ask you guys: if you had to give the pay-per-view an overall grade, what would you give it?
A solid A.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. Definitely an
A. And I said it in the comment as well. The reason it gets a solid A is because the crowd up the level of performance by the wrestlers. Because we were all looking at the card before the pay-per-view, and we were like, okay,
there was some stuff that
seems
was
kind of a
lackluster
card.
Yeah.
But then the show started, and Daly's place was packed from bottom to top.
I got it. I got to zoom down.
I'm a schmuck. Okay, so now that you're joining us, Brucey gave the pay-per-view an A.
Yeah, people in podcast world, that's gonna be like, what the fuck's going on? Why?
Go to YouTube. I'm sorry.
Go to YouTube and you'll see the beginning of the show. We apologize
profusely.
But yeah, I give Double or Nothing a solid A. I mean, it did it. Here's the thing. It had a couple of moments that were like, but what fucking pay-per-view doesn't?
True. Sometimes some pay-per-views are full of them, so a couple moments you can deal with. Let's let Grandma. Yeah.
I think for me, like the biggest moment was the Cody Ogogo match, but I will say Ogogo put on a hell of a match though. Like he did damn good in that match. But I wasn't that invested in that match, like in general, or the storyline. But I think it's just because I'm over the anti-American foreigner bullshit. That's the only reason I wasn't invested in it. But besides that, it was an all right match.
Yeah, I mean, I'm close to you guys. I would probably give Double or Nothing like a solid B plus for those same reasons. Like, I felt like the Agogo Cody thing was just really awkward and forced in to give him a reason to come out as the American Dream. I mean, it's rare that Cody swings and misses on a promo, but that one
was amazing.
That was a huge whiff.
Yeah.
That was a colossal whiff. Going in, I really had like no interest going into it, and then when I watched the match, I was actually kind of thoroughly impressed with Anthony Ogogo.
Oh yeah,
he was showing off like, I know it's not the same level, but he was showing off like some Kurt Angle type skills with all these throws and suplexes and submission holds and all that I hadn't seen from him yet.
Well, he's not allowed to punch because he's a boxer, so he has to do suplexes.
No, he still punched.
Remember?
I mean, but
oh, that's right. I forgot
like,
about that.
I felt like, to the people who had said, well, he's relying on his boxing too much, he showed you like, I'm learning how to do this. I can do it. I need a little bit more time, but here's why I have potential in that match. Like with all those suplexes and all those bumps and everything that he took, he was showing people like, there's going to be more to me. You just got to give me some time. And so that kind of drew me in a little bit. Like, I almost wanted him to win. I knew he wasn't gonna, but I almost wanted him to win. There might have been another couple, there might have been another match or so on the card that I was like, man, I don't fucking care. But overall, I thought it was a tremendous show. I am still at this point like shocked that Jungle Boy won that Casino Battle Royal.
Can we go back to Cody and Ogogo real quick so I can give my 2 cents on this?
Yes.
Like, I've said this 100 times about Cody because everyone's always like, all he does is win and he doesn't put talent over. That motherfucker has put more talent over in matches that he wins than anybody I've ever seen. He literally made Darby Allin in AEW. Darby was an indie name. He was a guy.
He was an indie darling.
But Cody made him a mainstream darling with his feud. Like, he puts these guys over. Like, he put on a 20-minute match and he'll take an ass whooping. He just won't take an L.
We know that. Just go back to Cody's run with the TNT title. And a lot of people who were saying, like, well, I don't know why they didn't give it to Lance Archer. You know why? Because he wouldn't make guys like Cody did. Like, he would just crush them, and then that would be that. Like, if I don't care if it's Ricky Starks or Warhorse or whatever, when they're standing next to the Murder Hawk and he's up here and he's running you over in 2 minutes, that's the end of your career in AEW. Yeah, whereas with Cody, whether it was Ricky Starks or Eddie Kingston, Cody opened the door for them to come in and be a mainstream name in AEW. And that's exactly what he did for Anthony Ogogo. Like him or not, he finds a way to win and get people over at the same time. It's kind of smart.
And I want to give props to the Nightmare Factory for doing Anthony Ogogo right. He has actually been signed with AEW, or he's been working with Cody for 2 years, but he's been signed with AEW since the conception. And they actually did it right and waited to get him in the ring, to get him to a point where they felt comfortable. They didn't just, they weren't like, oh my God, we've got a major boxer, throw him in the ring, you know?
But right? I think that's one thing that sets apart, and it's not even like, let's just set aside names. That's what sets apart a promotion run by wrestlers rather than a promotion run by suits. The wrestlers know and understand because they're in the business, they're doing it, and they can gauge when is it safe to put this person in the ring. Whereas the suits are like, when can I make money off?
Yep.
AEW has a lot of the guys behind the scene that WWE had in their heyday. Dean Malenko, Arn Anderson.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few other, even Billy Gunn, you know, and these guys know how to put guys together when they're ready, how to how to operate in a ring and how to get other guys to follow them and learn. And you see that now the biggest problem that I had with the pay-per-view was not a match, it was not the show itself, it was leading in. And here's why. And as much as I love your dorky ass Tony Khan, and thank you for everything you brought into our lives, do me a favor, Tony. From here on out, please please, A, stop overblowing shit on social media, because B, you do not need to feed those Muppets. This man, for days before Double or Nothing, was saying there's going to be so many surprise debuts. We have to expand our roster. We're getting another show. There's going to be surprises left, right, and center, blah, blah, blah. And what do we end up getting? Not for anything, because they're good names, and I'm glad they showed up. All we got was Lio Rush and Mark Henry. Now, when you spend a week on social media and you're just going on and on about how you got another show, you got to expand your roster, you got to bring in guys, you got to do this, you got to do that. You get people all gassed up, and then you give them that. And it's just like the last pay-per-view, for instance, it was a great show, but everybody was saying, like, what about the Hall of Fame worthy talent? Because they didn't think Christian was.
Which doesn't make sense.
Or they thought the Hall of Fame talent was when All Ego showed up and they didn't even pay attention to Christian. So then all of a sudden, people are reacting to that in the moment and after the fact, when you had a good show and nobody gives a shit about your good show because of what you said on social media. Mm-hmm. Go back 3 years ago to the very first Double or Nothing. And how much did Tony Khan say on social media? Next to nothing. How great. How amazing was that show and the few surprise debuts? Like, we all loved it. It's the reason we're all sitting around watching it today. They took off from there. That's the formula, Tony. Don't say it. Just let it happen.
Just be behind the scenes and do what you've been doing with Tony Schiavone or JR on Dynamite or on the pay-per-view.
You know what happened?
Tony Khan just came in saying this match happens next week. He just
booked what happened? You know? And again, if you want to check tape,
happened.
If you want to check tape, yes, I'm bashing AEW, but if you want to check tape, Tony getting on those spots with Schiavone on Impact and running his mouth and saying he's the forbidden door and all this bullshit gassed him up. So now he's got to be on social media. He's got to be in front of the camera. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. Where before he was like, I don't exist. Even remember Moxley went to talk to him and they didn't bring a camera in. They just caught the audio of him and Moxley arguing back and forth about unsanctioned shit and blah, blah, blah. He was never on camera. He was barely heard from. He barely spoke. Then he got on those Impact ads, and all of a sudden he's ever, Tony, calm down.
You know what it is?
Let it happen. Because truth be told, and I think you guys would back me up on this, even if he would have brought Mark Henry, Lio Rush, Daniel Bryan, anybody who's out there that could be there on Double or Nothing, there are people out there that still won't be satisfied.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, well, you didn't get this guy. He undersold us. So don't say nothing. Just let it happen and let people be surprised and put it on your social media after the fact.
No, but you know why like he's out of control on the social media? They need a social media coordinator. So yeah.
Oh my God.
I am signing up for that job.
I don't know.
I'll get there before you.
Yes, but I've got the background and experience because you don't even go on our Twitter.
But if that's my only job,
if that's my only job, man.
I actually told her
that was my only job for our original podcast crew. Like, I was the social media guy. Like, outside of hosting, I was the social media guy. Every platform we had, everything. Just Dom on it. Okay, got it.
I totally agree with Peter. Peter said, I do hope now that AEW has Big Show and Mark Henry, hopefully they can work with the big guys and possibly book the big guys better. I agree. Because they do have like a lot of big dudes. And they could definitely use these guys. We see a lot of essentially cruiserweight.
Like we said, they already have like Malenko and Arn Anderson, that kind of stuff. But bringing these guys in is going to be beneficial to the guys like Luchasaurus, Cage, Archer, for their bookings, for their progression in their careers, the whole nine. Because these two have what, like a combined 40 some years of wrestling experience at the highest of level. Like in front of 7 million people on TV, like numbers that would make make wrestlers today's heads spin. Is like, that was me.
Absolutely.
So, if anything, Tony, just soft pedal the social media stuff. Don't gas people up.
Yes.
Because then they're just not going to be satisfied either way. You said nothing about Moxley showing up or any of that at the first Double or Nothing, and people were excited.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Brian just said it too. He said, "Let people be surprised. Those who complain, let them vent and ignore them." My uncle once told me, "If it doesn't apply, you let it fly."
See, Tony, it's not just me. Okay, these are wrestling fans telling you, like, just keep it on the hush, let it happen.
I have no shame. I am an AEW fucking mark to the fucking T. If my friggin' nickname doesn't say it, well. But yes, Tony, zip the fucking gums and let the surprises happen.
You know,
that's when you get your fucking fans going and get them and keep them happy.
Since we're on the subject of Double or Nothing, and since Brucey said, he's
I was happy with Leo Rush.
I was happy too. But the other thing that I do that I'm unapologetic about is rub shit in. And for weeks upon weeks upon weeks, I sat here, whether it was with just Bruce or the three of us or whatever, and said, Inner Circle's winning that Stadium Stampede. My man in the Inner Circle are winning that Stadium Stampede. And y'all ain't want to hear, oh, no, they're done. Really? Well, guess what? Inner Circle won the goddamn Stadium Stampede, just like I had said. Well, so as I said last week, since they got me, I blame
creation 2 times in a row.
I blame these two. I blame Griff because they peer pressured my ass into changing my mind.
I need the control to mute you. How can I mute you?
Only did it because we had a special guest.
You lying sack of shit! You jumped ship just as fast as friggin'.
I did it for Griff.
Dude, you jump ship. You can't take it. You jump ship.
If the guest says, I'm going with them too, then fuck it.
But now you're kissing ass.
Yeah, damn right, because I want him to come back. That's how the game goes.
He'd still come back even if you didn't change your pick. I'm sure Griff had a great time.
I'll make the rules, homie. I just play the game. What can I say?
Yeah, you played it and switched your pick to the Pinnacle.
But I even said, if I'm wrong,
Peter said a broken clock is right twice a day.
I've been right 20 times, Peter. Fuck your broken clock.
That's all right. That's all right. I call
I'm more right than a goddamn clock is. Okay.
I called the bull rope match with fucking with Bruiser Jr. and fucking Dustin.
Nikki from Philly
3 months ago.
We're gonna get to that too.
This is true.
But I had to bring that up because again, even during the interview, and thank you, Griff. But even during the interview, I said if I'm wrong, I'm blaming these two.
His pick.
I'm blaming, but I also said if I'm wrong, I'm blaming these two, and I'm blaming Griff because I had said. Great, they updated my Instagram. I'm still not using it anyway. But I had to get that one in because I'm on. But by God, was that Stadium Stampede not better than the first one?
It was
because in my eyes it blew it away. And here the way the Inner Circle won is almost the way I envisioned it because look who ended up getting the win, Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
Who was when like pre-pandemic, pre-speaking out movement, who in the Inner Circle was on like the fast track, just rocket ship to the moon?
He still is.
Sammy. But it got
the
derailed.
Most over member.
I understand that, but it got derailed because then the Sasha comments came out, and he had to get suspended, and he had to do this and that, and he had to go back, and then MJF came in, he had to quit and come back and be the guy to blow him up and everything else. So it got derailed. What better way to get it back on track than have him win that gloriously brutal match to keep the Inner Circle in one piece? If anything, there's instead of like we talked about Jericho winding down, but instead of breaking the Inner Circle up, what if just Jericho winds down, Sammy takes over?
Are we getting into Chris's question?
We are about to. You keep wanting to jump topics. Let's finish one.
I'm like, well, it's on the same
like
topic.
A kid with a brand new toy. Just give me the next one.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie.
It's an ADHD brain, man.
Listen, when I got this second shot, like I am not gonna lie. Like everyone's like, "Oh, it made me tired. It made me this." Yo, I got this second shot. And
no, that was me too. I was hyped at first. I was like hyped as fuck as first, and then the next day it was like. is like, you remember drinking your first soda and you got like really hyper and crazy as you're like your first cup of
like
coffee,
and
then like a few hours later, you're just like, nope, that's yet. The second shot. You just hype, and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I'm tired. And then the day after you're fine. But it definitely fucks with you first 24. But I'd rather you be hyped than tired.
I'm ready to go.
But yeah, I feel like we're headed into a point where like Inner Circle stays, but eventually Sammy takes over and Jericho winds down and moves to the table. And now you still got 4. Maybe they add somebody else, maybe they don't. But you still got the initial 4, and you can push those guys just like you were, only with Sammy running the show. And it leaves a lot open for the future because Sammy ain't old and he ain't going anywhere for a while.
Okay.
So it's the perfect.
I think Jericho will end up becoming more Tully-like.
That would be cool. Like manage the Inner Circle sort of thing. That would be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And that does actually bring us into Chris's question, if I can find it, because we talk too fucking much.
Isn't that the point of the show?
Well, yeah, but we talk too much going into the show. Okay. Yeah. So he said Chris said he had a question, maybe 2, that needed to be asked. And he started with, is a simple 10-man tag match enough for the rubber match between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle? Because Stadium Stampede, Falls Count Anywhere, Blood and Guts, War Games, I don't know where. Like, where would they go from here if they were to have a rubber match?
Okay.
Brucey said he had an answer, and it was
right away
inside the box.
I'm
really looking forward to this. So, high class, enlighten us.
So, outside the box, something that it's going to come down to, one of these groups is going to have to disband. That's going to be the total end game. For this, hold on one second. Something came up on my screen. All right. So what I see is the best, like a best of series. So you've got Wardlow and Hager, and then you've got Pride and Powerful versus FTR. And then you've got Sammy versus Spears, all in separate matches, like building up to the big pay-per-view. So you got like going up, and then at the big pay-per-view, you've got MJF versus Jericho to decide everything. Like everything. You can go in, like, all so you can. So you have, I like it. You've got 3 matches going in. So you've got FTR and Pride and Powerful as 1, Hager and Wardlow as 2, and then you've got Sammy and Spears. So it'll be like 2-1, and then like the show before the pay-per-view, it'll be like an 8-man tag. MJF and Jericho won't be in the match. And then it'll be tied 2-2 going into the pay-per-view, and the winner of the Jericho MJF match,
I could see that,
wins it
for their
faction.
Tony, book it.
Or even if the Pinnacle were to take the series like 2-1 at the next pay-per-view, like Jericho's begging, give me another shot, give us another shot, give us another shot. MJF says to him, okay, I don't want the Inner Circle, I want your spot. It's you and me. Loser can never wrestle here again. And that's how you get Jericho into this management commentary winding roll down that we all
he's
think.
He's going to go into commentary.
Or winding down roll. I'm sorry,
he's
that we all think.
He's great at commentary, though.
He is. Mm-hmm. He really is. But that could work. Either way, that could work. I was thinking maybe like some kind of gauntlet match where they start with a couple of people, then somebody gets eliminated, somebody else comes out. You know, like kind of like, not like War Games, but I mean like
you mean kind of like actual what WWE did like 7 times in 1 year?
Yeah, during the Kofi Mania run.
and then the Seth Rollins build.
Poor Kofi.
And then the Daniel Bryan build.
I don't really watch Raw anymore. Are they actually giving Kofi a title shot, or were they just fucking with us to give Drew another rematch?
Does anybody know? They're just fucking with our feelings, man.
Playing with my emotions, man.
Real quick update from Peter. He said ref made a mistake in the Usos Mysterio match.
The Juicy Usos called him by the proper name.
So the Juicy Usos get a rematch later on tonight
in the main
SmackDown.
Event.
Wow, how creative is that? You're gonna have the same match twice on one show.
I appreciate Brian's response though. So what else is new, Pete? It's typical WWE garbage rematch shite every week.
Yeah.
It really is. It really is.
I have to say though, SmackDown does it pretty well. Raw, not so much, but SmackDown, okay.
They do a little better.
So yeah, it was definitely again, like just wrapping up Double or Nothing. Like I was shocked that Jungle Boy won that battle royal. I thought it was
awesome.
It was great.
Was pretty cool.
I'm so happy for him, but the question still remains: like, what kind of shot does Jungle Boy have at Kenny Omega?
He and Kenny are going to put on a fucking
it's going to be a phenomenal match,
dude. That match is going to be amazing.
It's going to be incredible.
We all know Jungle Boy's probably not going to win yet.
Oh, he's going to lose.
But what better way? But he's going
to take it to the limit though.
But he's going to lose beautifully. Like
what better way to put over a young star in the making?
Agreed.
Jericho did it. MJF did it, and now Kenny's doing it. Cody's done it, and now Kenny's doing it.
I mean, it's gonna be a great match, and I'm hoping that Kenny kind of gives him that Cody treatment like he did with the Go-Go. But damn, Jungle Boy doesn't stand a chance, y'all. I'm sorry. I say that I love him. I absolutely love him. I think he's a great competitor. I've loved pretty much all of his matches. Like his match with MJF, his match with whoever the fuck he faced from FTR. I can't remember. They're interchangeable. They're all great. But it's Kenny.
At Mason's comment.
It's like I just saw that. But it's the cleaner, y'all.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
So I believe Mason was commenting on the Usos and Mysterios.
That's what happens tonight. With a 22 person Mason, because it's men and women put together, 22. That's all they got on SmackDown right now. And
Jesus.
And that's also a beautiful segue as we come out of Double or Nothing. Let's get into some of these cuts that WWE had, and I have them up here somewhere. But
oh my god!
But what the actual fuck?
So before we get into all the cuts, did you guys see the new tweet from Keith Lee that came out?
No.
Well, let me see if I can find. It's kind of cryptic and friggin' mysterious, if you ask me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Wow.
There he is at Keith Lee. All right, this is what he said. He said, "I wanted to do something educational, but also inspiring to tell you guys about everything since late January. Seems that is off the table now. So with that, I will find another way to tell you guys about everything. It might simply be a video of me chatting with you. We'll see." So is he not being released, or is he released?
Keith Lee is such a mystery right now. There have been reports that he's injured. There have been reports that there's some health concerns with Keith.
There have been reports WWE superstar on his
I know.
Twitter.
He hasn't gone anywhere, but he also hasn't been around since January. He also has been rumored to have been released to be one of the cuts coming up. There's just a lot of stuff swirling around Keith, and I don't know exactly what that means because of it. Like, it's almost scary because it's more than wrestling. Like, this guy could be having some serious health issues, and we're not, and nobody really knows other than, behind the scenes in WWE and Keith and his so. I hope the man is all right. I hope worst case scenario, this is just, him possibly being released and finding a way to explain why and all that other stuff. I don't know what exactly he was planning that got the, kibosh, so to speak. It's a really confusing, really scary story, really scary scenario, because it almost kind of gives me like PTSD flashbacks of Brody Lee, where it was like, man, is he hurt? Is he retiring? Is he getting
nobody
cut?
Said anything there, and then
nobody's saying nothing. Gone. He's not saying nothing. And then one day, like, we were doing I think it was the worst of with Felipe and Gonzalo, and boom, there it was. Brody Lee passed away. And so I'm hoping it's not a situation like that with Keith Lee, of course, but it definitely does sort of feel that way sometimes. And it's like, I understand, like, I respect the man's privacy, but at the same time, like, yeah, we care about you, Keith. Like, let us know what's going on one way or another.
Yeah.
So hopefully everything's okay with Keith, and we'll be looking forward to whatever you're gonna bring us to explain what's going on, the whole nine. Because that's some serious shit. This is a little less serious, but why don't we start in on these cuts? And oh man, where to begin? Because there were several.
I just want to know if Vacant is gonna beat Big E tonight on SmackDown in the main event. Because Aleister Black is no more.
No.
Tommy End has returned.
The end is definitely near now. Sorry, Karrion Kross, but
the end is nigh.
The end is definitely near. We're gonna have to wait till August, but the end is coming. And I'm actually excited about that. So I guess we'll start there. Where do you guys see Aleister Black landing when this is all over? And keep in mind, they talked about Zelina re-signing with WWE, and I don't think she's going to do that now.
That's not happening.
So if you get Aleister, you might get oh god, what's her name? Tia
Trinidad.
Yes, you might get Tia in the deal. I'm just saying, not that she has to, Wendy. I'm just saying it's a possibility because they're both out there. So where do you think Aleister Black lands? Let's start with we start with Lady Wendy. Why
not? Part of me wants him to go to MLW, but I don't know why.
I can see that.
Like I don't know why. I'm just like, MLW feels like a good place for him. I'm like, yeah.
I know, like part of me says NWA, but then he's a little too springy. Uses a little too many off the rope kind of moves, kind of stuff. I don't know if he would quite fit in there, but he definitely has that smash mouth style that, kind of reeks of NWA. So that would kind of fit. I kind of want to see him in AEW. I feel like with the production and the budget they have, they could come up with something very dark and very visually stunning.
Him and Abaddon together.
Right? Could you imagine that undead group like coming up from the floor, like Aleister did with the
I'll fucks with it.
That'd be dope. Just don't go get those like imitation candles from the dollar store and line the ring like WWE did. Those fake LED candles that you get at the dollar store.
Yeah, those little weird LED
I don't know what you use those for. If you're trying to seduce a one night stand, you don't feel like burning your house down, you go to the dollar store, you get those candles. I don't know what to tell you.
Wow, Pete. Even though John Silver said they don't need one, he said the leader of the dark.
Oh, now
that would be interesting.
That was where I was going to go with it. I was going to say,
okay.
Could you imagine the new leader of the Dark Order being Tommy End?
That would be interesting to see.
Like the Dark Order is back because the end is here.
They're darker. They're darker than ever.
Right? They could change their name to the Black Order. No, I'm kidding. the darker order.
The dark end.
The dark end. There you go. That'll work too. I like it. But yeah, leader of the Dark Order would definitely be where I was going with it. So thank you, Peta. You read my mind.
Yeah, that would be cool. Make them heal again, Peta. I fucks with that.
The weird, interesting one that I think could go in many directions is amazingly Lana. Go back to a couple years ago. We were just like, get this bitch off my TV.
Yeah, but you're right.
And then she got cut, and I don't know about y'all, but I did the Britt Baker pose when I heard. I was like,
yeah, I was like, but she was.
Weren't her and because again,
her and Naomi were a tag team.
I know they were, but weren't they number one contenders for the women's tag titles before she got cut?
Yes.
So, yeah, there's that. I know everybody's gonna say, well, Braun Strowman just main evented a pay-per-view for the WWE title, and he did, and that sucks too. But like literally, as of the week of the cut, Lana and Naomi were number one contenders for the tag titles, and now poof. And not only that, poor Naomi.
Yeah, right. Now, Wendy, don't dick punch me, but she's definitely going to go to AEW with Miro because that's just how their relationship is.
I can see that.
She's going to try to be with Miro. That's it.
I can see that.
It showed on Total Divas like what their relationship is. They're always together.
And not only
they love being together.
Not only that, if she walks into AEW and she starts rolling with Miro again, they already have a built-in feud. I
don't want that. I want her to be a wrestler.
No, I'm saying they already have a built-in feud with Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. I'm not talking about managing. I'm talking about I fight you, she fights her.
Yeah.
I don't know if AEW would go intergender.
This gives Lana a chance, though, to figure out what she wants to do as well. Like, does she want to continue the wrestler route? Is she going to take some time off to, like, train herself up a little bit more? I mean, so many possibilities for her, you know?
I gotta say, Lana was getting to be pretty good in the ring considering all the stuff WWE pretty much, because they like to kind of put people in a box.
They put her through fucking hell after Miro left.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's
fucking break the fucking 25th fucking wall. They took out everything on her when Miro left.
Oh, yeah.
With the help.
They really
with the help of Nia Jax and 9 tables, to say the least. But
do not be surprised if Shayna Baszler's not far behind.
I would be so sad. I wouldn't be shocked, but I'd be sad.
Felipe just joined us.
I would not be. I would not be shocked, but I would be sad. We'll get to Murphy. 2015 series. True. Hi, Felipe.
The
CWO.
9 tables of hell. True.
The 9 tables of hell. Yes. Oh God. Sorry. I'm watching Baron Corbin beating on Shinsuke Nakamura, and I'm like, burn in hell.
Boring Corbin.
Burn in hell. You boring shouldn't be king anymore, douchebag son of a bitch. Anyway.
King of the Ring's not even a pay-per-view anymore. Why is it
out of the rabbit hole?
We need another King of the Ring, is what I'm saying. Okay, so the next one on the list, because Lana is definitely interesting. There's a lot of things like, could she model? Yes. Could she try some more acting? Yes. Could she be more an in-ring competitor?
So many avenues she can take.
Could she do a mix of everything? Probably.
She can go be a backup dancer. She could do so many things.
How about the Ruby Riott? I love that woman.
She's gonna go either NWA or AEW. If she went, her veteran background in AEW would help bolster that roster.
You know what sucks? The thing that sucks is I have no idea if or when MLW is planning to restart this women's division that they barely got off the ground pre-pandemic. Because if they were, this is when you just start throwing checks out there, bringing all these women in. Like Ruby, yep. Lana, sure. Santana Garrett, why not? You were great on the indies. Come on in. Santana Garrett.
Who's he?
She.
Oh, this shows you how much I know.
I saw one match of hers, and I was like, she's not bad. I had
seen a bunch of her on the indies, and she was quite good. And then she went to NXT, and she disappeared. But we're gonna get to her. Let's focus in on Ruby here, because as much as I agree with the AEW thing, obviously MLW is not an option.
Peter suggested something that I get with. Peter said Impact with Decay. I fucks with that. I like it.
That's not bad either. But I was saying, veteran presence would be pretty welcome on NWA right now.
Don't forget, dude, ROH is building their women's division, and they're
signing, they've got a tournament.
Some pretty big talent.
They've got a tournament, but they've already signed a lot of women.
They have, but how many of them are actually going to work out?
I don't know, but they've signed a lot of women. So and we don't know exactly where ROH stands as well, not just their reputation, but financially, because they took a big hit and they weren't in the same spot as some of these other promotions.
According to the ROH group I'm a part of on Facebook, they're better than AEW and WWE. That just you want to go to a fanboy page? I'll give you that page.
That's a certain point of view. It's and you're entitled to it, but it just might not be that accurate, is all I'm saying. I think her and NWA, like, put her up against Thunder Rosa. She'd probably have a great match with Camille.
Absolutely.
She could definitely be a big player in the NWA women's division, where in AEW, the women's division has actually grown pretty massively, and is why I put Lana there, because Penelope Ford is damn good in the ring, and they barely use her. Mm-hmm. Lana has gotten better in a ring, but if Penelope Ford is good and they barely use her, how much are they going to use Lana? So Fair. Ruby walks in the door, and it's like, okay, great, glad you're here, but like, what do we do with you?
Sorry, I'm scrolling through the ROH roster in general, and Jenny Rose's picture is like mildly unflattering, but I think it's because she did this. And it's like, that didn't work out too well for you.
Yeah, she did the old duck face.
Bring it down, put those lips back in.
Just a little bit, sunk it in a little bit, you're good. But
her face is kind of like, I told you so. Mm-hmm. Told you was going to fuck yourself up. It's like, no.
One of these minutes, I'm going to get these motherfuckers to focus. I swear to God.
We're focused.
Today is not that
Focusing.
Day.
We're talking.
All right, wrestling. So next up is a man who had all the potential in the world, but man, WWE booking fucked him up good, and that's Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
I honestly see him going to Impact.
Yeah.
I could see him in Impact, and I could see him succeeding in the X division. Like, imagine a match with him and Petey Williams.
Yeah. Not only that, like, I would want to see him and Josh Alexander, like, now.
And
for the X Division title, like, right now.
Direct tweet from Buddy Murphy after his release. Good. Now I can show why I was the best kept secret.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Was his direct tweet after he got released.
And I loved it. I absolutely fucking loved it. But yeah, when you look across that X Division, there are so many matchups he could have that would be absolutely gold between the ones we brought up. Ace Austin, TJP, who he had a little bit of a
rematches with TJP.
He already had a little bit of history with in the other company. Just so many that will scream 5-star match. So yeah, I was gonna say Impact. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna stick with Impact. I think it's a good place for him. Grandma Wendy?
Yeah, I agree. And it seems to be the consensus everywhere too. Murphy at Impact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hashtag Murphy at Impact, y'all. Don't forget to use the hash brown when we're done.
The hash brown.
I'm pretending to be as old as I actually am. All right. So next up on the list,
sign.
We pretty much covered everybody, but
yes, it is.
Santana Garrett, nobody knows, but I'll be honest, y'all. I think
where's he going again?
I think she'd probably be better off either on the Indies or maybe in ROH.
Yeah,
just kind of build herself back up, because I know her. A lot of people don't. So get yourself out there, get that exposure, move up. NXT, because honestly, NXT did the same thing with her that they did with Ty Conti. It was like, hey, you're great. We have nothing for you. Go sit down. And then Ty Conti got let go, came to AEW. Look at her now. Santana Garrett could be that type of like the next Ty Conti, where she goes from like, who the fuck is this, to wow, where the fuck have you been?
I just want to put it out there that Ty Conti did get quite a few matches on NXT, but they didn't let her shine. They made her get squashed. She got
squash matches in a karate gi. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like she is not the person that she was not the person that she is today. She was definitely nowhere near that. She didn't get a chance to show anything in the ring or on her. Like it was sad. But it's better now. And I think Santana Garrett will end up going in that direction too. Now we got that one out of the way pretty quickly. Let's go to the
biggest name.
Huge purple elephant locomotive in the room and talk about the monster himself, Braun Strowman.
Well,
and I don't know if everybody that watches this show is actually a member of our group on Facebook, but I just want to see if I can, because I have to see if my computer will actually work, and it doesn't want to. I'm trying to pull up the picture, but there was
PETA, no.
There was a quote from Braun Strowman in 2020.
You trying to be me?
And Braun Strowman had said, and if I can get it up, I will show everybody on YouTube. And oh, that sounded horrible. I'm sorry, that came out wrong. If I can get it up, I'm going to show everybody on YouTube. No, I'm not going to do that.
Save it for Kathy.
That your whole screen just got blacked out and your mouth got covered for like 2 seconds and then it came back.
I'm not going to do that.
Just did to you.
Let me show you the quote, and we'll read it for the people that are going to be listening to the audio podcast. Okay, did that come up?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, cool. So back in 2020, I think this was even before winning the Universal
5 minutes ago, but
it feels like that. Braun Strowman said, "The day I take my wrestling boots off for WWE is the day I stop wrestling. I will not wrestle for anyone else. I've been given an opportunity from Vince McMahon and WWE at Life that I would have never gotten. I told him a long time ago, the day I take my boots off for you, I'm done. I mean that." Close quote. So, do we really need to talk about this? Because Braun's done, right?
Yeah.
Corgan's going to throw a boatload of money at him.
That is a good option.
He wants
very good option.
Corbin not Corbin, fucking Braun and fucking in NWA.
I am very torn, and I am very torn between NWA and Impact Wrestling. Because NWA his style would fit. He could shine there. And obviously, if somebody's finally going to take the title off of Nick Aldis because he's held it for the better part of 3 years,
yeah, yes,
Braun would be that dude.
He needs to keep it.
Now, at the same time, Impact has some big men, but they don't really seem to have big men that can go against one another. And they've also taken on big men and kind of been like, okay, well, WWE fucked you over. We'll let you shine. The latest one being W. Morrissey, who, believe it or not, ain't half bad in Impact.
Well, he
can actually talk. He's proved it week in and week out. He can actually wrestle. And I'm going to tell you something, if you guys don't know, at least Bruce and Wendy, that will make you love him. He's in a feud beating the crap out of Rich Swann on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I was watching that the other day on the Insta, and I was like,
See the face? See Grandma's face? Swann. I know some of you might be listening to this on one of our many podcast platforms, but if you're watching on YouTube, look at Wendy's face right now. Because Wendy said, and I quote, Rich Swann could get in a fight with Swan, and I'm rooting for the Swan. W. Morrissey is in a fight with Rich Swann and whooping his ass. But that's the point. They got these big men, but they got these big men.
Him like he's his daddy.
They got these big men who are feuding with guys like Rich Swann. So, in order to maybe get some more eyes on your product and legitimize some of these big men, get Braun Strowman, put him in the ring with guys like W. Morrissey, put him in the ring with guys like Madman Fulton, put him in the, even AC Romero. Huge motherfucker. Who's he going to face? Nobody's as big as him. Well, Braun is. And you can have those oh my God moments when Braun picks up AC's like now 400-pound ass because he went on a diet and slams him, that sort of thing.
I do see Braun Strowman retiring though and like doing something else entirely. Like,
so you believe that quote?
Or like going back into strongman or some shit.
So you actually believe that quote?
Well,
I'm not saying I believe it. I'm saying I could see him doing that.
Okay, because I'm saying I see that quote and my bullshit detector just goes through the roof.
Well, it was, I agree with a lot of the comments. Like, okay, that was in 2020. He had just re-signed.
Yeah,
with WWE,
and he was on his way into WrestleMania to win the Universal title. This had not happened yet at the time.
But
so at that point, you might believe like, oh, I'm never going to wrestle for anybody other than Vince McMahon because you just got a boatload of money and they're putting a title on you. But a year later, when things have gone the way that they've gone, and your big highlight is to stand in a ring with Shane McMahon and scream, "This is for everybody who's ever been called stupid," you might change your tune.
Yeah.
I don't know though. Like,
you're right, Peter. Madman does need to break out, and a guy like Braun would show a lot of his skills. That's why I think Impact is a decent fit.
I know why. I've got to say it because you brought it up, Dom, and then you just kept going, and I couldn't. You know why W. Morrissey is so fucking good now?
Because he doesn't have the dead weight Enzo Amore.
He dropped 190-pound bag of shit.
Named Enzo.
He got clean.
He got clean. That was going to be my answer.
3 to 4 years to hone in and get.
Because believe me,
right.
I was not a 20-time champion until I was long out of rehab. So getting clean is a huge thing.
watching him beat Rich Swann's ass, you could see like where he's been putting in the work, like the muscular on. I was
yeah.
So you've had muscles hiding under this whole ass.
When you go back to his WWE days and you look at him, he had like no abs. He had a gut.
None.
And he was kind of, like he was kind of built, but he had like.
He was built awkwardly.
He was like, I'm big, but I have a flabby gut and saggy man breasts. And now he's got like an 8-pack. He's got definition.
His 6-pack has a 6-pack. I was like,
it really does. His abs have abs. It's ridiculous.
Where was this?
And oh snap, Wendy, don't you have to go get your hubby?
I do. I have like 5 more minutes.
Okay, but yeah, he has totally rededicated himself, and they are giving him an opportunity, and he's shining. So say what you want to say about him, and you can at me all you want, and I don't really give a flying fuck. Congratulations.
Right?
Oh, I'll come at you.
Stay clean, keep stepping, keep doing what you're doing, because it's a beautiful fucking thing to watch, especially, for somebody like me. I appreciate like watching you get clean. And I said the same thing about Dustin Rhodes. When he came out and he was doing his thing again after rehab, it was like, you do you, man.
All right, Wendy. Before you go, Peter has asked a very important question that has been flying around the world of the internet and the social media world.
Oh, no, not the interwebs.
Do you think WWE is up for sale?
Why? Why the fuck would Vince McMahon ever do that?
He's dropping a lot of high-paid contracts.
Yeah, and it's
he did that last year.
Not like this.
No,
not like this.
The people that he cut last year, their contracts were like in the 100,000s. These contracts he just cut were in the millions.
These are hefty contracts.
I might have said this before you showed up. You see this list of people. This is how many people you got to get rid of to pay Brock Lesnar. It's that simple,
but there's more cuts coming.
And not only that, I don't think he's selling because look at last year. WWE, they didn't get rid of this many. They didn't get rid of as the big names, but they got rid of a lot of fucking people.
But here's the thing.
And they made a ton of money.
Here's the thing, though. They don't need to cut these people to pay Brock. Because if you look at their stocks, you look at their merch, look at all the deals they've been making outside of everything else, they're making ducats. Okay, so they don't need to cut these people. But
it's become
in order to cushion everything and make it look more valuable, yes, cut these people, boost our money just a little bit.
You want to know why they're cutting these people? Because last year they ended up with like a $38 million profit during a pandemic by doing the exact same thing. It has nothing to do with big money contracts. It has nothing to do with selling WWE. It worked for them last year and they made a ton of money. They're going to make even more money when they let fans back in and they get rid of all these people on the books. So it's going to make them look great. It's going to make them look like they're this huge empire. But it doesn't mean Vince McMahon is selling. It means Vince McMahon wants to make money. Newsflash.
But But here's
out of here with that sell shit. Vince won't even let his son-in-law run his business. You think he's gonna sell? Get the fuck out of here.
I'm sorry, Wendy. I know you want to say something.
No.
I gotta get this out. The difference between last year's cuts and these cuts, Last year's cuts, everybody was sitting at home on their fucking ass. These cuts, you've got 4 people that were in major fucking up-and-coming storylines. You had one that was a number 1 contender for a tag title, one that just came back with probably one of the most intriguing storylines out there in Aleister Black, and you got another main event multi-million-dollar contract. These other clowns were like 100,000,
but you also had people that sat around, did nothing. And they also realized it worked last year and made them a ton of money when there wasn't any money to be made. So now if there is, they'll make even more money.
But have you
Vince McMahon
also consider this. No one ever thought they were going to sell the network.
Yeah.
Peter brought that up. Peter just brought that up. Yes, but I never saw them selling the network, but they did. If they had the goal to do that, I wouldn't be surprised if Vince is like not trusting Triple H, doesn't trust Triple H to run it. Is like, I don't see my kids doing what I did with it. Fuck it. I just want that retirement money. Pay me, bitches.
This is Vince McMahon's baby. He has done it into his mid-70s. He will do it till the day that he dies. He doesn't give a fuck about Triple H. He doesn't give a fuck about what kind of money you offer. He doesn't give a fuck about anything. You know, he gives a fuck about my company, my way, which is why he's gotten into trouble in the first place. And now all of a sudden he's going to turn around.
But if that's the case, then why did he sell? If that's the case, then why did he sell the network? Why did he turn it into a publicly traded company? If you only care, if it's my baby, if it's my shit, why is it publicly traded? Why can I buy stocks? And why can I say, hey, my voice is in here?
Makes me more money.
Exactly. That's why he's going to sell this shit. That's why he's willing to sell it.
He's willing to sell a piece of the
company. I wouldn't be surprised.
He's not willing to sell the company.
I wouldn't be surprised if he sold it.
But if he
sold it.
If he got $1 billion for the network, imagine what he could get for the entire WWE.
I don't think there's an offer out there, man. Yeah. I just don't.
Disney.
I don't see it. I just don't.
I'm not saying it is happening, and I'm not saying it's not happening.
Vince McMahon has held on to
I'm
WWE.
with you, Bruce. I'm with you, Bruce. I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but I am saying I wouldn't be surprised.
It's possible. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't either.
I don't even think it is. I really don't. Vince McMahon has held on to WWE through thick and thin. They were almost pushed out of business by WCW. He held on. He did whatever he had to do. He has had a death grip on creative control, on the way his business is run, on who's in and who's out, the whole time. So if he can sell off the network and still use it, yeah, of course he's going to do it because that's a great deal. But he's not going to sell the company he's been holding on to with a death grip since the 60s.
Felipe just brought a good point. He said they're making money to create new PCs around the world. This plays from Nick Khan, and in 2 years they have to negotiate with Fox, and we know they will not have the same deal. Selling the network obligates WWE to create even more content, allegedly. Which doesn't mean it's quality; it's just quantity.
That's the thing. WWE is branching out. They're throwing their stuff on Fox. They got deals with A&E for shows. They've got the network on Peacock now in the United States. And that was the thing. They sold the US rights. They did not sell the network because Peter ain't watching this shit on Peacock.
Not yet.
They didn't sell the network. They sold the rights to the United States, not the network. They sold a small portion. Now you're saying he's going to give up the whole thing because of it? No.
Look, all I'm saying,
he'll give it up when he's dead.
Fox, if they sell to Fox, they're essentially selling to Disney.
Yep.
If it gets sold, not surprising, not shocking, but we don't know. The old man's in his 70s. We don't know if he knows something that we don't know.
Yeah.
Because what if the doctors have told him, like, hey, your countdown clock, we're nearing. We don't know what's up.
And he's going to die in that office on Titan Tower. You watch.
He just might. He just might. But
in Gorilla, one of the other.
It's the same thing. This almost plays hand in hand with the whole Braun Strowman saying he's never going to lace his boots up again. You throw enough money in front of that motherfucker, he's going to get into a ring. Yeah, you throw enough loot in front of Vince McMahon.
I didn't believe Braun Strowman when he said it. So I damn sure don't believe Vince McMahon's going to sell the network.
and look, this is a rumor that has been thrown out there that has caught fucking wildfire, and it's more of a what if scenario.
So let me throw 2 grains of salt at it. Okay.
I mean,
it's not gonna fucking happen.
I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying wouldn't be surprised.
Listen, if Monday Night Raw gets canned by WWE, something big's fucking going down.
Well, but as bad as it's been, it's still there.
For how much longer? How much longer is?
I don't know. How long's the deal?
Is you
and does Fox want it? That's the point. You got. Once one domino falls, then you can figure out the rest. But at the moment, they got to deal with USA, and they're on every week for 3 hours, whether you like it or not. So
NBC owns USA.
I'm aware. Mm-hmm. I'm aware. But they also have a deal with WWE to put the show on USA. So unless they're going to back out, or depending on how long the deal is, because I swear it just got re-signed like a year or two ago.
I'm sure there's a clause in there for ratings.
Just like Vince McMahon, it's going to be there every week. Bullshit. I'll sell when I'm dead. Money. We need Brock Lesnar. He's an attraction. That will outlive me. Mark my words.
I can't with that.
There will be somebody else on a podcast after I'm dead doing a Vince McMahon impression. He will still be in charge of WWE at like 126. Mark my words. That motherfucker will live forever.
Our replacements on TRWT after we retire will be doing that and saying,
right? It'll be like hopefully the high class kids and Lil Psycho just doing their Vince McMahon impression. And Vince will be 120 some years old, and he'll still be in charge of WWE.
He's gonna be like Futurama. He's just gonna be a head in a jar,
floating head in the formaldehyde
it's gonna
with
be
the little microphone and the legs and arms that pop out.
He's gonna be the floating head on like a bender body.
I don't want to say.
That's all he's gonna be. I
don't want to say this, but homegirl, you gotta go get your husband.
I do. Okay, you guys.
We love you, Grandma.
I love you guys.
Be safe out there. Can you hit us with the final line one time?
Oh yeah, of course. Stay fresh, cheese bags.
There
Say words.
Word.
To your moms.
Whoa.
Bye. Oh man, it's a shame. I'm sorry, guys. The way things worked out, we had to kind of tag.
I gotta do this for Griff if he's watching. Because we talked about.
I can't reach my hat, or I would do it too. I've done it on this show.
Backward fitted.
Again, I invite Griff to check Griff. Kate. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, Peter, I've heard the rumors, and when I hear them or I read them, I just kind of go. And I move on, because that's just wild. There's no way. Vince McMahon has held on to this business for 60 some odd years. There's no fucking way. It's just there were so many opportunities. Like if he was going to sell when he sold the network to Peacock, that would have been the moment. Like stock went through the roof, company looks good, WrestleMania pops off. With fans, there's your moment to sell, because at that point, it's as big as you've been.
Can we just say Double or Nothing with fans was a lot better than WrestleMania with fans?
I was thinking it, but I didn't know if I should say it. I didn't want to sound like a fanboy.
I already said I was an AEW fanboy. It was.
Because again, if you go back to the reports at WrestleMania, they were having trouble selling tickets because vaccinations were barely out. And they had opened up a lot more seating than, say, the Super Bowl did. And people were concerned. So it was hard. And eventually, they had to start giving away tickets to get people in. Whereas with Double or Nothing, by the time that shows up, sold out.
Didn't hand out.
More people have been vaccinated, and, things were a little different. So, of course, people weren't as concerned about the pandemic, so they were more willing to come out and scream and yell and be into the show. Whereas with WrestleMania, outside of the moments, don't get me wrong, like that first match, like Drew and Bobby, people went crazy. But then throughout the night, it was kind of like Bruce right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. That second shot's kicking my ass now.
See, I told you. Been there, homie.
Yeah, it just bam.
I
Hit me
told
like
you.
a fucking Tyson right hook.
See, they all want to pretend like I'm never right, and I'm practically right all the time, but they want to keep on. You get under this psycho tree, learn. Got you. Let's see. Felipe said I watched the show 2 times. The only one that I watched twice this year, and in a long time. Oh, about Double or Nothing. Yeah. Limp Bizkit style. Yes, Brucey is totally rocking the Fred Durst look. It's just not red. That's the only thing.
Yeah, no, I got to turn it back around though.
Now,
it's driving me crazy.
To clarify what Griff said, I do rock a backwards hat, but I have like my Philadelphia Phillies cap, which is red, and I refuse to turn that backwards. For obvious reasons.
I'm getting an Anaheim one soon, and I'm gonna rock that bitch backwards.
Nice. I can't do it, man. The Phillies hat. I'm like, nope, can't.
Next time Griff's on, I'm gonna make sure I have it.
Like y'all see me wear my Eagles hat backwards. It's got the NFL logo right here, but it's like a silver gray. I won't rock the Phillies hat. It's red. I can't do it.
Hey, we got a countdown to Dynamite going on.
We really do. We're like 15 minutes out from Dynamite, which means maybe we should preview the show a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know how long we can stick around, but we should definitely preview the show. Let me pull the card up. So it is a little bit of a thin card, but at the same time, the show's starting at 10 o'clock and it's running outside the playoffs. And last week they got like 500,000 viewers. So you can kind of understand that. But tonight we are supposed to be hearing from obviously Mark Henry after his debut. Mm-hmm. He's supposed to be making an announcement about possibly being AEW's newest broadcaster. And I'm guessing that means he's probably going to be on Rampage, which starts in August. But either way, I'm still looking forward to hearing from him. We got the Young Bucks taking on Death Triangle, but it's Pac and Penta. It's not Phoenix. That match should be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't say whether it's a title match or not. I think they would have specified. So it's probably a non-title match, but it's going to be great. Another tag match: Christian Cage and Jungle Boy against Private Party, which could be pretty good.
Private Party's fallen off. Like, I like them, but they fell off. Like,
they fell off since they got with Matt Hardy and started dressing all business-like and shit. I'm not like, I like them. I like them. I better.
Do. I like them in the ring, but
I like them better before Matt Hardy.
I like them better when they beat the Bucks.
I'm not even a big fan of Big Money Matt, so there's that. But. And then, of course, we have what should be Wendy's favorite match of the night, which is going to be the bull rope match between, Dustin Rhodes and
Camarado
and little Nicky from Philly. Hey, Bruiser Jr. I love that motherfucker. And not just because he's from Philly. He's actually quite talented. And last
$20 says Dustin spills 3 pints of blood.
Oh, yeah. I'm not taking that bet. If anything, I'd be on your side. Like, nah, give me some of that action, too. I got 20 right over here. And last and certainly not least, we are going to get the championship celebration of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
The best thing going in all of women's wrestling right now.
So again, I know it sounds thin, but they always work in some kind of surprise. There's going to be some interviews, some angles, a lot of fallout from Double or Nothing. So it should be a good show. I'm going to do my damnedest to stay up. I am sitting here and watching the rematch from the beginning of SmackDown with the Usos taking on Ray and Eddie's son.
Yes. Totally Eddie's kid. He does a better frog. He does a frog splash like Eddie. Not better, but
not right better. Not better, but close.
Right up there.
Because he learned from his dad. That's the thing.
His dad taught him well.
I mean, he's like, yeah, I guess I'll pull a 619, but I'm really good at this frog splash. I'm like, yeah, I know whose kid you are. Just change his last name to Guerrero already. Felipe saying it's not that the tag match is non-title with the Bucks and Death Triangle. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. It didn't say on the page I was looking at. It just said they were fighting one another. I was like, it can't be for the title because I'm pretty sure, they're not going to go that.
FTR gets the next shot.
Oh, and according to Peter, Jericho tweeted that the Inner Circle is going to do a lap of honor. I don't know what that is.
I hate babyface Inner Circle.
I don't mind.
I hate
you guys
it.
are all worried about like baby faces. I don't know if you guys noticed, but in AEW, their baby faces aren't even exactly baby faces. I mean, if you look at it, Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley are considered baby faces. They're not exactly the faces you would see in another wrestling promotion.
They're
but
not.
In AEW,
no, they're more in the Stone Cold role.
But that's a lot of their faces, whether it be those two or Lance Archer or even the Inner Circle. They give them that edgy baby face role like Stone Cold had, that tweener, and they don't just make them faces like Cody's a fucking face, He's the one crying about his baby and being the American dream and doing all that bullshit. He's the classic face, where these guys are more of the tweener Stone Cold types, whether it be Archer or Mox and Mad King or whoever. And I dig that. I mean, it seemed like for a minute there they were going to turn Pentagon face, and I was like, for real, he's breaking people's arms. But and all this talk of Penta, I got to give him a shout out because Double or Nothing, he rocked the actual Joker.
Oh, that outfit was sick. It was way better than anything that old Ray wore.
I wasn't going to say it, but I'm not going to argue it. I'm definitely not going to argue
I'm an AEW fanboy.
I mean, Ray's was cool, but Penta just kind of took it to another level with the full gear, including the mask and then the face paint underneath and all that. I was like, oh, my dude. Like that was some cool shit too. I'm still surprised about Jungle Boy.
I love it though. I fucking love it.
Yes, Brian, Joker was fucking sick. Exactly.
Yes.
Even Peter loved it. See, yeah, and yeah, Jungle Boy is a classic face, Peter. Thank you. And yes, I am so surprised he won that battle royal. Like my money was on Christian Cage or whoever the Joker was going to be.
Cage put him over. That was so awesome.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the debuts. Like, I'm glad Mark Henry showed up because he's gotten himself into much better shape and he's been talking about wanting like one last match. So, okay, go to AEW, find somebody, put on a damn good match to end, to kind of just round things out.
Miro versus Mark Henry.
That would be amazing. Even Lance Archer versus Mark Henry would be kind of the shit. The other one, Mark Henry versus Brian Cage.
Okay.
Like but the opportunities for like that one last match are abundant in AEW, so I can see why he did it. And even Leo Rush, I don't know if that was like a one-off kind of thing, or if he's gonna pull the MJF, because as far as I remember, he still has the AAA Cruiserweight title. He still has the MLW Middleweight title. Because their MLW is not coming back till July, and then they're going to have a rematch of him and Myron Reed. So he's, obviously MLW is on hold till the season comes back, but he's got a full plate with a few. Promotions.
He also signed with New Japan.
And he also signed with New Japan. But most of these companies have worked with AEW before. Like Kenny Omega's the AAA champion. New Japan talent comes there. They go to Japan. MJF was working for MLW and AEW at the same time. Brian Pillman Jr. still is. So could we see Leo Rush on AEW more? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Will we? I don't know. I do enjoy him though. I do enjoy him in a ring. he's not plastic knees, is what it like. He's small, but he's got his own style and his own technique. And
he's fucking amazing. I saw him live when he was in NXT. The dude fucking killed it. Yeah, dude's amazing.
He's got such a unique wrestling style that you only get from like Leo Rush. So it makes him interesting to watch. Oh, I'm sorry, Peter.
He lost the belt to Reed.
He lost the belt on the finale. My bad. I still have yet to watch that, guys. I've been a bad wrestling fan lately with the stuff going on in the background. My wife being sick. I haven't caught up on MLW. I'm still behind on Power. So I'm sorry. He did lose that time, but he's still a AAA champion as far as I know. I'm waiting for somebody to be like, "Nah, I lost that one too."
No, I don't know.
Oh, but yeah. Once again, Vacant does rule in New Japan at this point, thanks to Will Ospreay's injury. And we're going to be getting.
He was supposed to have a match. Oh no, he didn't get to have a match tonight because they canceled his match on SmackDown and gave Usos 2 matches.
Yep. And but Sunday, New Japan Dominion is going to have Okada versus Shingo for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Like, winner takes the vacant title.
How you want me to go? Here's how in depth I'm going. Okada wins.
Yeah, I love Takagi. I think he's a great wrestler. He's a tremendous talent, but it's got to be the Rainmaker. I was kind of hoping, and I don't know what the deal is, but I was kind of hoping maybe they'd put Kota Ibushi back in the picture. But they decided to run with Okada. So, okay. You got to give it back to the Rainmaker, you know?
I wouldn't be surprised if Ibushi's contract is going to be coming up soon.
I'm not sure about that one, to be honest.
Because if it is...
I've already misspoke twice on this show, and I kind of don't want to do it again, so I'm just going to...
yeah.
I'll look into it, but I don't know.
I say before we put our insert foot in mouth for the rest of the show,
because I've had both now, so no.
I say we wind this down because we've got 5 minutes before Dynamite starts.
We've got 5 minutes before Dynamite starts, so we got Roman Reigns Superman punching everybody. Big shock. All right, now that's been said, Brucey, since I introed the show for the second straight week.
You can find us on Facebook at Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We are a publicly traded group. Come in, invite yourself. We'll accept you. Talk all things wrestling. Join our threads, join our forums, join our friggin' pay-per-view talks. Have fun, enjoy yourself, and talk all wrestling. Just because I'm an AEW fanboy doesn't mean I don't like talking about New Japan or MLW
WWE
or even WWE. I love talking all wrestling, and I still watch all wrestling. AEW is just what I prefer.
Yeah, I'm personally a pro wrestling guy, so you can talk to me about damn near anything, and I'll be like, oh yeah.
You can also find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. Come on there, check us out. You know, we're followed by a few pretty big names. You know, we've got we got names. We got Alexander Hammerstone,
the Neon Ninja, Jesse Goddard's, Shooter Storm. We got a lot of wrestlers. We got a lot of other podcasts too, like the guys from Clark Street, Dirty Heels, Straight Talk Wrestling, Jofu in the Ring. Like a lot of great podcasts. Follow us, you know. So if you come and you join up with us, you can see so many different podcasters and come at you from so many different angles and do things differently and enjoy all of us.
And you can also find us on Instagram at top_rope_wrestling_talk. Thank you for that name, Dom. And if you want to buy,
he keeps putting this evil on me, and it is not. That was his choice, not mine.
you want to buy merch, you want to buy our shirts, you want to get a hat, you want to get a coffee mug, you can do that at TRWT Merch on Facebook. Just go on, click follow, hit up the merch maker and the messenger, and she'll let you know prices and price points and all of this stuff for everything. And then you can also check out TRWT Merch on Instagram at TRWT_merch. And Dom, tell us where else you can hear this dang show.
Oh, absolutely. First off, you can find the audio podcast, which this week's might be a little short because I forgot to hit record with all the calamity. But you can find our audio podcasts at anchor.fm/TRWT. If you go to the website, you're going to find us on Anchor. You're going to see all of our platforms. We are basically everywhere podcasts are enjoyed. The only one that you have to look for on your own is iHeartRadio. If you go to that website and you search for Top Rope, we pop right up and you can listen to us there as well. A lot of people do, and we appreciate it. And if you are out there in audio podcast land and you're still unaware, catch the beginning of this show at Fox Den Productions on YouTube. This is now 97 episodes of this, our flagship show. We also
97, so we only got
97.
3 more?
We got 3 left.
Three
to
more
the big
to hit the
hundo.
100?
Till we
3
get
weeks.
the hundo P, son. So come July, we're going to be 100 episodes deep. But yes, Fox Den Productions not only will have the beginning of this show, it has a lot of YouTube exclusives that you're not going to get from Anchor or anywhere else. It has some of our other previous shows like Drunk Upon a Time and Mutant Rejects. It's just a lot of content in one place to be enjoyed. So definitely check it out and subscribe, ring the bell while you're there. You know, give us some thumbs up, comments, the whole nine. You know how YouTube works. Do I have to explain that? But please come visit us at Fox Den Productions, subscribe, ring the bell. So when we do these live streams, you know we're on, you can come find us. But until next week, everybody enjoy Dynamite in like 30, 40 seconds. Stay safe out there. Wear your mask. Get your shots. We all did. And I'm just going to say the usual goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bye.
Deuces, yo.